will work, and the 7th will be my Father's Day. Come on, my people, you silently get extorted. You worship the star Moloch, you fall out of God's order. No news and no reporter, no views to hear God's story. The youth getting destroyed, the truth getting ignored. But the Sabbath, it was made as a sign, so we can know at the time. Tonight follows the crime, then you got death on your mind. Shalom, shalom, everybody. So today, the message of today is is going into with the amount, with the stimulus checks and all the help that people have been getting, renters assistance for people who didn't need it and got it anyways. The extra amount that they may have now. I see a lot of people taking vacations, and I know that people should deserve to take vacations, and COVID held people in the house for so long. So the way we are used to living is like, okay, we got an extra amount of money, we could take this trip next week, we could go on this vacation, we could do this thing, right? We got an extra amount of money, we could take the kids out here, we could do this, right? I'm gonna go into the Bible and show why we should be more prepared for what's coming. We have to think about it like as if we're Joseph, okay? But I'm going to start off in Revelations, and we're going to start off with Revelations 6 and 5. I'm going to repeat that again. Revelation 6 and 5, okay? And it says, "And when he had opened up the third seal, I heard the third beast say, 'Come and see.' And behold, and lo, a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, 'A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine.' And when he had opened up the 4th seal, I heard a voice from the 4th beast say, 'Come and see.' And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and he followed him. And hell followed him." Woo! "And hell followed death. And the power was given over him over the 4th part of the earth, to kill with the sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beasts of the earth." Okay? It says to kill with the sword and with hunger, and that's what we're going over. When it says earlier at Revelations 6 and 6, it says a measure of a wheat for a penny and 3 measures of barley for a penny. It's not saying that that's cheap. It's saying that in the time of this is what I got, can I get this? In the time of a depression, like things are gonna get bad. Like we come from America, everything was good. I mean, we had our rough spells, but now we're reaching a point where things are gonna get bad. So people need to be prepared for this, okay? So the next thing we're gonna go into is Genesis, because Joseph is a good example of somebody who was prepared for these events, right? So we're gonna start at Genesis 41 and 28. I'm gonna repeat that again. Genesis 41 and 28. And it says, "This is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. Behold, there came 7 years of great plentiful throughout all the land. There come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine. And all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the land." And that's what I wanted to talk about, because right now America, and it is for as long as we've been alive, it's been a country of plenty, okay? But soon all the plenty is going to dry up, right? It says, "And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land," right? "And the famine shall consume the land." And that's what's coming. That's what people should be prepared for. "And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of that famine following, for it shall be very grievous. So God gave Pharaoh the dream because he was over the people. And then he gave Joseph the ability to interpret the dream. And then the king put Joseph over everything. And what Joseph did was he saved. So let's go down to, I think it's 53. Okay. It says, Genesis 41 and 53. It says, in the 7 years of plenteousness that the land of Egypt were ended, and the 7 years of dearth began to come, according to as Joseph had said. And the dearth was in all the lands. But in the land of Egypt there was bread, because Joseph saved an abundance of that bread for the time to come, for the hard time to come. That's what we have to do. Start getting prepared for what's around the corner. You get what I'm saying? We definitely have to be prepared for that. And when all the land of Egypt was famished and the people cried to Pharaoh for bread, you see who they went to? The government, the power, the head people, Pharaoh. At that time, Pharaoh had Joseph over the people. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, go unto Joseph. What he saith to you, do. Right? And the famine was all over the face of the earth, and Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt. So he opened all the storehouses that he stored up all the food, and he sold to the Egyptians. And all the countries came to Egypt to Joseph to buy corn, because that the famine was so sore in all the lands. So he understood the dream, and he prepared himself for it. He prepared that whole country. And we know the story that later on, Joseph reunites with his family, and he was able to save Israel through that same event. But part of this, the part that I was bringing up is how Joseph understood what was coming. So we got to be aware of what's coming so we could be prepared for it. We see the evil in the world. We got to be prepared for this evil. Now let's go into Proverbs 22, and we're going to go to 22 and 3, okay? And it says this, Proverbs 22 and 3. It says, a prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself, but the simple pass on and are punished. You see, so the prudent man sees the evil that comes. He hides himself from the evil. He prepares for what he saw. He's only hiding himself as preparation for what's coming. He's not a coward. He's in preparation. He's preparing for the events that's coming. And that's what we have to do. We have to start preparing for the events that's coming. Now the next one is, we're going to stay in Proverbs, but we're going to go to Proverbs 20 and 4. Okay? And this is what 20 and 4 says. This is about us, because we talked about this last week. There's no faith without works. Understanding, if you believe in Revelation, you believe what's coming, and you believe, you see what's going on in the world with the shot and everything else, then understand this. You got to be prepared, and that's part of your faith, is putting in the works, right? So it says, Proverbs 20 and 4. It says, the sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold. Therefore shall he beg and harvest and have nothing, because he did not prepare when he had the time to. Now when it's time to harvest, it's going to be too late to prepare. It's already time to gather the food in that he should have been preparing and putting forward. So this is all on the same thing. Get prepared for what's coming. I know in previous times we vacation, buy the Gucci slippers, the works. We just living our best lives. But now, if you want to actually live your best life in the coming times, then you got to start preparing for it now, because it's going to be too late. Financial advisors would always tell people this, but they plan out for 20 years, 30 years, 60 years of your life, right? You need to start preparing for the next year or two, 3 years, 4 years. Be prepared for it, okay? Now the next one we're going to is Proverbs 6 We're going to stick in Proverbs again. Proverbs 6 and 4. This is where we're going to stop. Where we're going to start at. All right? Okay, so we're going to start. No, let's go up. I like this. So we're going to go up. We're going to start at 6 and... Let's just start at 6 and 1. Proverbs 6 and 1. It says, my son, if thou be surety for thy friend, if thou hast stricken thy hand with the stranger, thou art snared with the words of thy mouth. Thou art taken with the words of thy mouth. Do this now, my son, and deliver thyself. When thou art come into the hand of thy friend, go humble thyself, and make sure thy friend. Give not sleep to thine eyes, nor slumber to thine eyelids. It says, deliver thyself as a roe from the hand of the hunter, and as a bird from the hand of the fowler. Check this out. This is where it really gets hot, right? Go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways, which have no guide, overseer, or ruler, provided her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. He's talking about an ant. So we can't say the ants are smarter than us. So we got to be prepared for this, like the ants do. And it says, go to the ant, thou sluggard, consider her ways. So go look at this ant and consider what the ant's doing. And be wise, which having no guide, overseer, or ruler. So it says, and be wise, the ants that no guide, overseer, or ruler, provideth her meat in the summer, and gathereth her food in the harvest. How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? So it's time to wake up, so we can start being prepared for the time that's coming. Because like Christ says, those who endure to the end, the same shall, it says, those who endure to the end, the same shall be called saved. It's in Matthew 24. So you got to endure through this, right? We live in that time. Or try to endure. Be prepared. Your efforts to endure for yourself might go to help somebody else and could be your ticket to the kingdom. But put in the work, follow the commandments, that's first off. But there is no faith without work. So you got to be prepared for the time that's coming. It says, how long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou arise out of thy sleep? Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. So while you resting, and you vacationing, and you partying, and you doing whatever, think about what's coming and be prepared for the times that's coming. There's a lot of people that's not in as fortunate positions as others to even be prepared for the time that's coming. And those people are preparing in to the best of their abilities and capabilities. So for all other people, they should do the same. Because like it says, yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep. So shall thy poverty come as one that travaileth, and thy want as an armed man. Right? So poverty gonna come like a snap of the finger. And then you're gonna want. Your wants are gonna be everywhere, because right now people want and desire things that's not necessarily a need. But when this happens, you're gonna actually want and need something. And this is what you're gonna need to survive, to endure. So on that note, thank you, and y'all have a blessed one. Ahayabah Shem Yeshaya Barakatah Shalom. Thank everybody for tuning in, and y'all have a blessed day. I will work, and the seventh will be my Father's Day. Come on, my people, you silently get extorted. You worship the star Moloch, you fall out of God's order. No news and no reporter, no views to hear God's story. The youth getting destroyed, the truth getting ignored. But the Sabbath, it was made as a sign, so we can know